welcome. It's a great honor and privilege to welcome you to this conference today and into this space, which is the General Assembly Hall of the Church of Scotland. My name is David Bradwell, and I work for the Church of Scotland as Manager of Public Life and Social Justice. And as part of this work, I've been the Scottish Church's Parliamentary Officer since 2020. Today we gather under the theme of Devolution at 25, Reflections, Perspectives and Visions of the Church's Relationship with the Scottish Parliament over the last quarter of a century. This event has been prepared jointly between the Scottish Church's Parliamentary Office, and I'd like to acknowledge my colleagues, Robin Knight, who's sitting down at the front, and Claire Flenley, who you'll see and hear from shortly. And the Centre for Theology and Public Issues here at New College. I'd now like to welcome Professor Rachel Muers, who's the co-director of the Centre, to say a few words. Thank you.
Morning all, lovely to see you. It's wonderful to be able to hold this conference in this space. The idea, when David suggested it to me as then director, now co-director of the Centre for Theology and Public Issues, had an intrinsic kind of rightness to it. This is a space which, at the point where the Parliament met here, represented a meeting point of the churches, the academy and public life in Scotland. And so to be able to hold the 25th anniversary conference here and bring together questions about the churches, the academy and public life in Scotland and a wider perspective of other faith communities is a wonderful thing. As David's mentioned, I'm the co-director of the Centre for Theology and Public Issues, which is also celebrating an anniversary this year as it happens. We are 40. We are the oldest Centre for Public Theology, we think, of its kind in the world. We certainly have a long tradition of the co-creation, creating together ideas and reflections from theological tradition with and beyond faith communities for the public good in relation to public issues. So it's great to be involved in co-hosting this conference. I think somebody is meant to tell you, so I will tell you, that we are not expecting a fire alarm. So if you hear a fire alarm, please just get out. There are plenty of options. And now I've done the practical announcement as well as the welcome. I'd very much like to, I'm very pleased to welcome Thiu Elias, who is our project manager in the Centre for Theology and Public Issues. And he's just going to say a little bit about the centre so that you know the academic space that is hosting this event. And then we'll hand back over to David to take us in a bit more detail into the themes around the conference itself. So, yeah.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, David. And welcome to all of you to this space. And I want to take the privilege to offer some introductions on behalf of CTPI. And as Rachel said, it's our delight to co-organize this event today. My name is Thiu, and I'm project manager at CTPI, the Centre for Theology and Public Issues. On another day, I would have introduced myself as a recently completed PhD in world Christianity. And my research has been looking at how our perception of Jesus Christ affects the way we look at the world. And so by extension, our politics, our public life, and our cultural life, and in many ways related to what we're doing here today. I'm also very proud to introduce some of the current PhD students whom you might have met earlier in Rainy Hall, who are helping as volunteers. I think Zihao is here, up there, helping with the sound. It's a really small representation, but our research touched on a wide range of topics, from theology and ethics to political theology in ancient China to biblical studies. And so I say that as a way for to encourage you to to get in touch with us if you'd like to learn more about research life here in School of Divinity, and also just to give a sense of the kind of research that's going on. The Center for Theology and Public Issues, CTPI, exists to engage with the issues and concerns of the wider world and what we might call public theology. And to that end, we conduct events and projects, conferences to foster scholarly engagement with public issues. And in the past, CTPI has focused on questions around politics and culture wars, questions around populism in the Western world, on war, conflict, and peacekeeping. And I want to highlight two recent events as a preview to recent trajectories in CTPI's work. Earlier in April, we had an event called Animals and Religion, and it brought theoretical, theological, practical conversations around the place of non-human animals in public life. And I think in the context of climate change and debates around animal rights, we hope to continue drawing attention to non-human creatures as crucial components in our discussion and thinking about public life. The other event, also in April, was Churches and Researchers, and it drew focus on networking with local churches and church organizations. It was very, very much a listening exercise, and we realized many points of convergence, but also many questions that we felt needed to be answered. And so accordingly, many follow-up events will be lined up to explore this connection. And I think finally, I can also say that there will be a student-led conference sometime early next year, which focuses on theological contestations in public and political life, especially emphasizing theological undercurrents that are often glossed over in public discourse. So keep an eye out on that. All of this to say that if you're interested in the work at CTPI, if any of these topics sound interesting, and I hope they do get in touch with me, with Rachel, or with any of the student volunteers. We have a website, we have our points of connections as well. And so you can get in touch with us and we'll be happy to connect you. Thank you very much, and I look forward to an enriching day of conversation today.